so glad that you decided to watch this video and learn about Veritas classes. First of all, let me tell you who I am. My name is Dannette Cox, and I am the administrator and an instructor at Veritas. I have a bachelor's degree in nursing and worked as a pediatric nurse for several years, and then went on to direct a crisis pregnancy center where I counseled young women with biblical counseling and taught infant care classes. In 2012, I came to Veritas classes to teach the upper level maths and science classes. Now, I became the administrator in 2014, and I absolutely love it. I'm married to a pastor, and I have 2 grown daughters, each of who came through Veritas classes themselves and have now graduated from Liberty University. I love teaching your students, and I love serving you, and I'm looking so forward to getting to know you. Let me tell you a little bit about Veritas. Veritas classes began in 2003 and was formed by a group of parents who came together to support one another and offer education, Christian education, to their students. We are a Christian co-op, and so we do pray with the students before class, and we ask that you sign a statement of faith that is on our website. When you are interested in looking at our classes, you can go to the website, click the course descriptions, and you're able to read about each course. We're also providing videos of each teacher telling about their classes so that you can find out a little bit more information from them individually. Once you have filled out an application to join Veritas, you will hear from somebody within a couple of days. Once you've been accepted, you can click on the Veritas registration tab, fill out that form, and then you may sign up for classes by completing the class registration form. Veritas has been such a blessing to so many people over the years, and I have loved having students return and to tell us how much Veritas helped them as they went on to college and out into the world. So I am looking so forward for us to be able to help you and walk alongside you and encourage and teach your students. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Scott Russell and I teach anatomy and physiology at Veritas. I've been a physical therapist for 17 years now, and I just wanted to bring some of the experience that I had into the classroom. This will be my 2nd year teaching, and the book we're using is Exploring Creation with Advanced Biology. And so we cover all the major systems in the body, starting from the cells all the way to the muscles and bones. We do some dissections in lab, and also the students will have a chance to come shadow me at Stewart Physical Therapy so they can put into practice what they've learned in the classroom and see how it works in an actual patient. We got a little delayed this year just because of the virus, but we're still going to work on getting the students I had this past year in over the summer. So I look forward to having your students in class. It's going to be another great year.
Hi, I'm Abele, and I'm so happy that I get to be part of Veritas and offer the physical science class. In our physical science class, what we do is we just explore and love God's amazing, magnificent creation. God has put everything in order because that's how He is. And there's there's laws that He's created to make things work. From atoms and molecules to waves and mass and energy, gravity, so many different things come together to make our world work. And that's what we do, we explore it. We have a lot of hands-on. We do the labs so that the students can dig in there because they like that. We emphasize the vocabulary because that's really important for helping students to be able to go on to college if that's what they choose to do. We will be using the Apologia Physical Science 3rd edition. The students are about 7th or 8th grade. 7th, no, it says say 8th or 9th. 7th can come in, but they have to be good readers. And then, but at any rate, it's just a wonderful opportunity for students to grow and learn. And they'll be using this information for all the rest of their lives because it helps equip them as things come at them in this life. They'll have the knowledge to be able to understand and figure out what's happening and how does that actually apply to me or not apply, or what do I need to do with that. So it strengthens them and equips them. So I'd like you to consider putting your student in physical science if that's what they need. It will be very beneficial and help strengthen them. And if you need any more information, there's more information on the website, the hours, the cost, all that's right on there. So, alrighty, bye.
Hi, my name is Nicole Walker, and I'm going to be teaching American history at Veritas in the fall. I've lived in this area since 1996. I have a degree in English education, and I've taught at both the middle school and the high school levels. I stopped teaching in order to start a family, and I've homeschooled my own children since 2006. The main goal of this course will be to study American history from Columbus until the modern age, and to see God's sovereign hand throughout everything that has happened. If you'd like to learn more about the curriculum that I've chosen or the coursework, please go to the Veritas homepage and read the course description, and feel free to email me if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Carrie Russell. I have been teaching Writing 1 at Veritas for 4 years. My husband Scott and I have been married for 17 years. We have 2 kids, Jenna, who will be going into the 8th grade, and Seth, who will be going into the 5th grade. We have been homeschooling for 6 years now. I do teach part-time at ACC in the Academic and Career Readiness program, where I work with adult learners who are working on their high school equivalency. My background before staying at home was teaching in the Alamance Burlington school system, 2nd grade, and also a media specialist in an elementary school. In Writing 1, we use the Jump In textbook by Sharon Watson. Please make sure it's the 2nd edition. In Writing 1, it is geared toward middle school students and early high school students who just need an extra push with writing. Writing is one of those subjects that students sometimes fear and dread, and it's just not enjoyable. In Writing 1, we take kind of a slower approach, where we take it step by step from brainstorming to planning to composing to editing and revision. And we do this with many different styles of writing, from opinion, persuasive, narrative writing, research writing, biography. We explore a variety of different styles of writing, and we always do it with that kind of step-by-step approach, where students get to feel more comfortable with that style of writing. I hope to have your student in Writing 1 next year.
My name is Chrissy Hahn, and I will be teaching Pre-Algebra this coming year at Veritas. A little bit about me. My background: I graduated from Elon College in 1998 with a degree in elementary education. Then got a job teaching 4th grade at Burlington Christian Academy. Taught there for 5 years before I had my kids. Now I am married to Scott Hahn, and I have 3 kids. Simeon is 16, Zach is 14, and Veda is 6. Now I am currently the office manager for Alamance Fine Arts Academy and teaching at Veritas. This will be my 3rd year teaching at Veritas, and so I'm looking forward to this coming year with your students. I use the teaching textbooks curriculum. I have enjoyed that with my kids. I start them in that around 4th grade, and I just appreciate the logical way that the lessons are explained, and I feel like they introduce the topics in bite-sized chunks, and so I appreciate the review of past concepts that happen in every lesson. How do you incorporate a Christian worldview into math? And really, there's not a lot of theological lessons on a daily basis, but our God is a God of order. And in math, things are very, very orderly. There are absolutes. There's not a lot of gray area in math. There are right answers. And we can illustrate that our God is a God of truth. Our God is a God of order. And that can come through in math. And then also in algebra, X has a lot of problems, and X needs its problem solved. And so we joke about in pre-algebra, we're learning how to help X solve its problems, just like we can go to the Word and to God to have Him help us solve our problems. But yes, if you have any questions, my email is below in the link, and so I'm happy to answer any of your questions, and prayerfully I will see some of your students next year.
Parallel lines have so much in common. It's a shame they'll never meet. I'm Dannette Cox, and I'm the geometry instructor at Veritas classes. Most of the curriculum that I have reviewed for geometry starts out with proofs on day 1, and I find that a little bit overwhelming, as these students have never heard of these definitions, postulates, and theorems, and they're having to plug them into proofs right away. The curriculum that I've chosen is a downloadable course. You will pay me a textbook fee, and I will distribute 3 workbooks to each student, and I will also administer the quizzes and the tests. We will learn the definitions, postulates, and theorems and actually plug them in before we ever start introducing proofs. We'll also cover basic trigonometry and some graphing and many other concepts, along with complex shapes, area, volume. And so I just ask you to help your kids stay in shape and sign up for my geometry course. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Maryabele, and I've been with Veritas for about 6 years, and I love it. I'm here to tell you about general science. This particular textbook is so good. It gives really important fundamental principles that are actually essentials. For instance, it talks about critical thinking and teaches students how to have a critical thinking capacity with a biblical worldview. So important. It helps students to be able to see all the different systems that we go in, we take a closer look into things that, we see every day. Like, for instance, your skin. Yeah, it's your skin. Well, we go in deeper and deeper, and we understand how it all works. And things like archaeology, we learn about the different layers in the rocks, and how some people want to tell us that archaeological layer is evidence of evolution, when there's actually no place in this whole earth where all those layers are put in that exact area like that. So critical thinking, got to think about what we're being taught and what we're teaching. And so that's what this book does. It helps us to be able to know the truth, and it equips our students so that they will be able to have the facts. So when they go out, even as adults, this is the kind of stuff that will stay with them till they're adults. I hope you consider it. I think it's a fundamental, very important class. It's for 7th and 8th graders, some 6th if they're love to read, because this is a lot of reading. We work on vocabulary. We'll be doing a lot of hands-on, all the messy stuff, and the kids love that. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Nicole Walker, and I'm going to be teaching World History at Veritas in the fall. I've lived in this area since 1996, and I have a degree in English education. I've taught at both the middle school level and the high school level, and I stopped teaching in order to start a family. I've homeschooled my own children since 2006. The main goal of this World History class will be to study history from creation to the modern age and to see God's sovereign hand over everything that has happened. If you'd like more information about the curriculum that I've chosen, please go to the Veritas homepage and read the course description. Feel free to email me with any questions that you might have. Thanks so much.
Hi, my name is Carrie Russell. I have been teaching advanced writing at Veritas for 3 years now. My husband Scott and I have been married for 17 years. We have 2 children, Jenna, who will be going into the 8th grade, and Seth, who will be going into the 5th grade. We've been homeschooling for 6 years now. My background before staying at home and homeschooling was teaching in the Alabama Burlington school system and being an elementary school media specialist. I do teach part-time at ACC, working with adult learners who are working towards their high school equivalency. In advanced writing, we use the power in your hands, writing nonfiction in high school. This is a textbook that is written by Sharon Watson. Advanced writing is geared toward high school students who are proficient in their writing skills. We work on college prep style writing. We work on a variety of different styles, from opinion, persuasive, process essays, to research papers, to writing a literary analysis. And we jump into the course pretty quickly, and students need to be able to write proficiently and understand the process of writing. We also do vocabulary in advanced writing. This is for SAT and ACT prep, and I hope that I'm able to work with your child in advanced writing.
Hi, I'm Stacie Brantley, and I'm going to be teaching Principles of Art at Veritas this year. I have loved art ever since I was a child, and it's really given me an appreciation for the beauty of the world around us and the details that our Heavenly Father put into each thing as He created the world. It has allowed me to almost be like therapeutic at times and express different emotions and things like that as I've gone through challenging times in my life. And I found it to be a useful skill in different job settings that I had through the years, and also even in homeschooling. I have always loved art, but I pursued my career in early childhood education and married my husband Gary when I was 20. I've been married for 21 years now. I taught for about 5 years before our first child was born. Faith, our daughter, is 15. We have 2 sons. Quinn is 13 and Grant is 5, and we've homeschooled them from the beginning, and that's been a blessing for us. I was able to come alongside my husband Gary as he worked with the youth at our church, so I have some experience working with adolescents. We did that for nearly a decade. And I taught art camp at Alamance Fine Arts Academy last year for the summer, and that kind of reawakened my love for art and for teaching art as well. This class is really going to focus on technique. It's not an arts and crafts class, although there will be pieces that the students complete, that can be hung on the wall, that will be beautiful for your house. The focus is not on that. The focus is on our growth as an artist and our ability to depict the things that we want to on paper and on canvas. There will be plenty of work for this to count as a high school credit for our high schoolers, and I know I have some middle schoolers signed up too, and that's great. We're all going to be able to work from the place that we are and develop and grow, and I look forward to seeing you all this year.
Hey folks, I'm Dr. Wade Cox, and I want to share with you about our Christian Worldview class at Veritas. I've been teaching Christian Worldview for 8 years now, and also I am an online professor for Liberty University Online since 2010. It is one of the greatest joys in my life to be able to take young students and show them not only the what, but the why they believe what they believe. I want to ask you a question. Do you want your student to one day graduate, to go to college, whether it be a 2-year community college or a 4-year university, and become one of the 60% of young people, young Christians, who enter college with a firm faith in Christ, only to deny their faith by the time they graduate? Of course you don't, okay? I want to come alongside you and help prepare your student for living in this world that is very contrary to the biblical worldview. We're going to be talking about a lot of subjects. Very quickly, we're going to be sharing with them the 4 logical arguments for the existence of God. We're going to study science and biology and DNA and how that points to creation. We're going to be studying things like, the biblical foundation for traditional marriage between a man and a woman. And one of the highlights of the course is how your student is going to be prepared to be a voice for the voiceless, to be pro-life intellectually, and to be able to stand up for the unborn. We're going to cover so much in this class. Here's our textbook. It is Light Bearers. It is the 3rd revised edition. Okay, you want to get this book. And also, I love this little book. It's got a funny name, but it's a great book. How to Be Your Own Selfish Pig by Susan Schaefer Macaulay. So please, whatever you do, sign up for Christian Worldview at Veritas classes this fall.
Did you know that 5 out of 4 students struggle with math? Did you catch that? I'm Dannette Cox, and I'm the Algebra 1 teacher at Veritas. Many of my students that come to me have already formed a mental block towards math and are extremely frustrated, and the parents have had it up to here trying to teach them. I absolutely love the challenge of dealing with these students. My goal is to make math fun and to actually learn and retain what we are doing. At the end of the year, I'm always surprised and excited when the students say to me, "Miss Dannette, I never knew that math could be so much fun." My goal in teaching your students is to not rush through and say that we finished a curriculum, but to actually help them learn the concepts as we go so that they'll be prepared to go on to the higher maths and to go on to college and face life. The curriculum that I'm using are the Keys to Algebra, and it is by Julie King and Peter Rasmussen. And you'll need to also purchase the score keys. There are 10 workbooks and 4 score keys. You will not need to purchase the test booklets. I will provide the tests for them. Now, as far as the workbooks are concerned, there's 10 of them, And I love that because as you give a student a textbook that's maybe 300 pages long, the students shut down even more. But when they see a workbook, they say, oh, I can do this. It's just like eating an elephant. We eat an elephant one bite at a time. And in math, we learn the concepts and chew on them and digest them one concept at a time. Any areas that I feel need a little bit more practice, I supplement with worksheets, so there's no need to worry about that. I guarantee they will come out prepared to take geometry and algebra 2.
Hi, my name is Nicole Walker, and I'm going to be teaching British literature at Veritas in the fall. I've lived in this area since 1996. I have a degree in English education, and I've taught at both the high school level and the middle school level. I stopped teaching in order to start a family, and I've been homeschooling them since 2006. The study of British literature is really a study of language, and language is a gift from God, and the best way we can steward that gift is to study quality literature in the light of God's Word. And so my plan for this class is to start slowly with poetry and short stories and then build up to novels, reading them slowly and thoroughly and marking them up, noting the stylistic devices and the figurative language that the authors have used and pulling out the meanings from that study. This is a skill that all Christians need to know, as our primary way of hearing from the Lord is to study the Bible. So being able to dig into difficult passages to find meaning and truth and how that meaning and truth fits into the Bible as a whole is very important for us. And that's important for us outside of studying the Bible, as we are bombarded by news and other media 24 hours a day. So the skills that we'll learn in this British literature class will be helpful for other classes that your student takes in the future, and also helpful in daily life and helpful to grow as a Christian. So if you'd like to learn more about which books I've chosen and what curriculum I'm going to use, please go to the Veritas homepage and read the course description, and please feel free to email me with any questions you might have. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
My name is Judy Williams, and I will be the home economics teacher for this coming school year. I'm looking forward to meeting each of you and excited to get started in this informative and fun class. First, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm married to a retired general of the United States Army Reserve. I'm a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 16, ages 1 through 18, and will be having 2 more grandbabies this summer. My life is blessed and very full with these precious ones God has given me to help shepherd. I've been attending Grace Reformed Baptist Church for 32 plus years and have had various opportunities to serve in my church. I've been a wedding coordinator, a cake decorator, a hairdresser, an owner of 2 gift shops, and owned and taught a preschool for 6 plus years. I enjoy sewing, cooking, baking. My absolute favorite passion is serving in the way of entertaining in my home. I will be covering the home economics, personal management skills, and kitchen skills next school year. This will be a hands-on course where I will want you to learn some of the very basic skills, which by being able to maintain a home, it will make you self-sufficient, save you money, keep you healthy, and can make you creative and boost your social skills. I'm looking forward to a great semester, and to be sure that you will enjoy your choice to join me in learning these basic steps to become independent and caring for yourselves. I will be looking real forward to having a great year with your students. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll see you. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Wood, and I will be teaching the American Government class during the fall semester. It will be meeting at 11:30. Using as our primary source, American Government in Christian Perspective by Becca Book. This is 3rd edition. We will look at the history of our government. We will look at forms of government, our branches of government, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, also state and local government, and also our part in the governing process. Since we have an election this fall, I hope that we will be able to spend a little time on that specifically as well. This is the teacher's book. The students need only the student edition of this, as well as a copy of the quizzes and tests. This is a consumable book, and then also a notebook, or a composition book, or a 3-ring binder with loose leaf paper to make some notes in. Some of the other things I hope to be able to do is take a field trip or two, and also have some speakers from different levels of government to come to class. This course is a requirement for 12th grade, but it is open to younger students as well. And so I look forward to seeing you there.
Hey folks, I'm Dr. Wade Cox, and just want to share with you a little bit today about one of the classes that I teach at Veritas classes, and it is Foundations in Personal Finance. Just let me start by asking you a question about some of your long-term goals for your students. Right now they're teenagers, but I want you to think about where you would like to see them at in their life, and financially speaking, when they're 30 years old. Now, I don't think that your goal for your student is as a 30-year-old, broke, unemployed, and living in your basement. Now, you want them to have a clue about personal finances so that they can know what's going on and get a good foundation and build upon that. In this class, it is a video-driven class. Most of it is taught by Dave Ramsey and his team. I serve as a facilitator who guides the student and also grades papers and things like that. We will be covering subjects such as the very real need of staying out of debt completely, okay? Staying away from debt. How to save for a rainy day. How to invest over the long term. We'll be learning things about taxes and also insurance. How to transfer risk for the big things in life. How to pay cash for everything. All of these things and so much more is part of our Foundations in Personal Finance class. Here's the textbook, okay? It is Foundations in Personal Finance, the high school edition for homeschoolers by Dave Ramsey. It's a fun class, we learn a lot, and I really would love to have you to sign your students up for our class for Veritas this fall. God bless, goodbye.
Hola familia Veritas, ¿cómo están? My name is Orietta Vasquez and I'm super excited to be the new Spanish teacher at Veritas. I am from Costa Rica, a former law student and a former customer service manager. I have extensive experience in teaching, coaching, mentoring, and tutoring. My husband is from Mississippi and we met in Costa Rica. We now have 2 kids ages 5 and 7. In 2015, we moved to the States and I have been a stay-at-home mom and a Spanish tutor ever since. For Spanish 1, we will use the book Spanish is Fun. I believe learning a new language should be simple, fun, and enjoyable. But I also know learning a second language can be challenging and overwhelming. I was about 22 years old when I first learned English, and I still remember how frustrated I used to feel when I didn't have the knowledge to express what I needed or wanted to say. Now, as a mom and raising bilingual kids, I face a whole new challenge, helping them to acquire as many Spanish skills as possible in an environment that sets their minds to think in English 90% of the time. My goal is to help students to enjoy the process of learning and to motivate them to keep expanding their knowledge and gaining expertise. For the Spanish class, we will use the book as a guide, and I will also be sharing additional resources throughout the year to maximize the learning opportunities for each student. God has a purpose for all of us, and my God-given opportunity to be able to share the understanding of my native language is a blessing, for it gives me a purpose and it allows me to create a positive impact in my students' lives by exposing them to a new culture and expanding their opportunities to connect with others. I really look forward to work with this group of young and bright minds this year and to help them make the adventure of learning Spanish as enjoyable as possible. If you have any questions, please let me know. Nos vemos pronto. Pura vida.
Hi, my name is Crystal Sigmon, and I teach the Veritas Biology Lab class. I've been teaching biology lab since 1993, and I've taught at the college, high school, and middle school levels. I've been an adjunct biology instructor at Alamance Community College for over 14 years, and this is my 10th year of teaching Veritas biology. My husband Daniel and I have been married for about 22 years, and we have 4 children, which we also homeschool. The biology lab class is a 2-hour class, and I often provide a 5-minute break for students somewhere in the middle for most labs. The objectives of this course are to reinforce the learning of biology through hands-on experiments, teaching, and assignments. Parents will need to provide a microscope and a textbook and a 3-ring binder. The microscope needs to be a high school level quality compound microscope. I also have several that could be rented. The textbook is the 3rd edition of Apologia's Exploring Creation with Biology by Vicki Ditcher, released just this month. Parents will not need to purchase a test and solutions manual, as I will be providing module tests and grading them this year, which is new for Veritas Biology. Each class will begin with a short quiz over the reading assignment, followed by a teaching, and then completion of 1 to 3 lab experiments. This is the case for all modules except the evolution module, which are lecture-based classes, where students will discern the difference between micro and macroevolution theory. I will also be providing a semester schedule and give weekly emails that coordinate a student's reading assignment, lab experiment, and their homework assignments. And in addition, I give 2 free field trips from my home for students to have the opportunity to study fields, be in the field and study nature. I am passionate about teaching, and I'm excited about teaching this course.
What do you call an acid with an attitude? Well, it's an amino acid. Yes, I'm Dannette Cox, and I'm the chemistry teacher at Veritas Classes. Chemistry is the study of absolutely everything, and I love teaching the course. I want to go ahead and tell you the curriculum. It is Discovering Design with Chemistry by Dr. J.L. Weil. He is the same one that authored the Apologia chemistry books and the biology books. But when he did the 3rd edition, there were so many errors in it, and Apologia was not able to do a reprint. So he went ahead and did his own textbook. It's exactly the same material without the errors. You will also need to purchase the answer key and the test key. We'll study many different topics in chemistry, and we'll do many different experiments. I will teach the math, how to do conversions, like how to convert grams to moles and moles to grams. And no, I'm not talking about those little animals in your backyard. We'll study the periodic table. We'll study the visible spectrum, acids, bases, heat, temperature, thermodynamics, so many other things. And we'll have a blast doing it. We'll do experiments about every 2 to 3 weeks. I'll teach your students how to write a formal lab report, and we'll have just an amazing time together as we study this wonderful world that God has made. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandi Green. I'm excited to have an opportunity this fall to teach at Veritas for the first time. I'll be teaching a class called Finding Your Voice, a public speaking class, which I've taught in the past at Archway. My background is in kinesiology, neurophysiology, and psychology. Prior to getting married, I trained athletes for a career. I worked with young children all the way through professional level athletes. I am married to my husband, David, and we have 2 daughters. Micah is our oldest. She's 15 and will be starting her sophomore year this year. And Jaren is our youngest. She's 13 and will be starting 8th grade. We've been homeschooling for 10 years, and I've enjoyed the journey. I look forward to the opportunity to teaching your students how to find their voice. I believe in Matthew 28:19 and 20. God commands us to use our voice to go out and teach the nations and make disciples. I hope to teach your children how to find their voice and use it constructively and powerfully. I thank you for the opportunity.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Wood, and I will be teaching the grammar class that meets at 12:30. The main focus of this course will be on editing and proofreading and not on a lot of composition. Our primary resource will be Fix-It Grammar, Book 5, Chanticleer, from Institute for Excellence in Writing. It will not only strengthen grammar concepts, but will also build vocabulary and will expose students to classical literature, because Chanticleer is a story from the Canterbury Tales from medieval literature. Students will also be looking out for examples in day-to-day life, signs, print media, whatever, of bad grammar, and bring those to class and share those, and I will do the same thing as well. The student will need a copy of Fix-It Grammar and also a loose leaf notebook with maybe a couple of sections in it, one for vocabulary words and one for the rewrites that they will do after we check all the editing each week. At the end of the course, the student will have a completely rewritten, corrected copy of the whole story. And this will also serve as a good chance to practice good penmanship, so we will work on our cursive writing as well. So besides the student book and the 3-ring binder or a composition book, you'll also need, of course, pens or pencils, and also access to a dictionary and a thesaurus. So looking forward to having you join us.